If our cars have thousands of parts, well, theoretically, thousands of things could go wrong.
So we look for noises, lights to let us know when something's amiss. In the case of our first question, it is a light.
Yeah, Peter Fink returns from Certified Transmission. Good morning, Peter.
Hi,
How are
Peter.
you this
Good
morning?
morning, Mike, Mary. How are
Great
you
to
guys?
see you.
We got some good
Have a great
questions.
weekend?
We did. How about you?
Good. Oh, yeah, beautiful
Did you do
weekend.
anything
Love
fun?
fall. No, there was no Nebraska football,
Right.
so, kind of just
Maybe
had
find
to
a
lay
dune buggy
low
or
a little
something to
bit.
go
Yeah.
out and pick up dust in.
Usually, actually, someone stole my trailer.
What?
Okay, my
No.
enclosed
What?
trailer.
Your
I
dune buggy
was
trailer?
supposed to go to Cincinnati and pick up a
What?
car, and I went to go pick it up on Thursday, my trailer, where it's usually parked, and it was gone. Okay, and so I thought one of my guys had it or something, and no,
Thieves
I
took
mean,
it?
Just
yeah, an
disappeared.
enclosed trailer. I mean, pretty hard to believe that someone took it. I mean, it had a lock on it, and everything, and a hitch and stuff.
Oh
so,
my gosh.
it happens to everybody.
I'm sorry.
Okay, unfortunately. Well, I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, but
That's
never,
a
I've never
bummer.
seen a trailer get stolen. Seen cars get stolen,
Gosh.
but
So you didn't
not
go
a
to
trailer.
Cincinnati. You
I
stayed
did
in
not.
Omaha.
I'm gonna have to borrow a friend's truck, or not truck, but trailer.
like the
and
But
go
listen,
Saddest
Omaha's,
way to
Omaha's
start our
finest
visit.
are on the job, aren't they? Omaha's
Well,
finest.
it's been reported, and
Track
they
'em
do
down.
a good job,
get
but
'em.
Well, you send us a
chances
picture.
of finding a trailer.
No, send us a picture of the
is
trailer. We'll put it on Facebook. We can
Okay.
get our viewers on the
Okay.
case.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Some other people have some questions for you. They got maybe not as big of problems, but regardless, Joe writes, I keep getting a warning light in my 2010 Ford F-250 Super Duty saying driver's door ajar even when the door is securely shut. I can't find any obstruction around the door or the door frame that might keep the door from closing properly. Any ideas on what might be going on?
Old cars used to be real simple as far as they had a little switch in there that when you closed it, it compressed it, okay? And, the dome light went out, okay, and stuff like this. And, you could push it with your finger or whatever and make sure it's working and stuff. Nowadays, they got sensors in the lock mechanisms and stuff or inside the doors to make sure that they're closed. So I would suspect that we've got a misalignment with that, okay? He does say the door shuts all the way properly, but if it's not adjusted quite right, okay, it's going to keep it, and the computer or the switch thinks the door's still open, going to make that light stay on, okay, and stuff. So I suspect either the sensor's gone bad, the wire, or the door isn't adjusted. I'd start with the door, make sure it's really closing good. Hopefully it's not one where you got to slam it real hard, okay? Sound like it's a newer truck, probably isn't that case, and if it isn't that, you got a sensor or the wire that's gone bad.
But you're right. I do remember those pins that you'd see on the side door, and
they're
then your
just a
door would
little
shut,
pin.
the pin would suck in.
It's like the
It
refrigerator
was really
door.
simple,
Right.
Life was simple, okay? Today, it's a lot more
One more
complicated.
example of
yeah.
how that's
well,
true.
I
Right.
think I'm really convinced that they don't want people to work on their own cars,
Yeah,
okay,
right.
and stuff, and want to only have to go back to the dealer, okay, and stuff. And I mean, they haven't found anything printed that says that, but that's kind
You're
of just
sneaking
It
suspicion.
seems like it with everything. It just seemed, to make it a lot more complicated than it used to be by a long shot.
Our next question is from Matt, and he writes, I'm considering buying a 2005 Mercury Montego. The all-wheel drive is not working. Is it okay to just drive the vehicle as a front-wheel drive vehicle, or does the all-wheel drive need to be repaired?
Well, on this particular vehicle, it depends what part is not working, okay? And the all-wheel drive is an extension off the transmission, okay? And if it's actually the gears themselves in there, then it will cause you problems. Now, if it's just the vacuum modulator sensor, vacuum sensor that makes it when to go to all-wheel drive, and that's bad, no, you don't need to, okay? Matter of fact, you can even pull the rear drive shaft out and you can drive it as a front-wheel drive all the time, long as it isn't that part in the transmission well, it's not in the transmission, it's bolted on the outside of it, okay? If that part is bad, then it's not going to live very long. What I'd recommend is get it to one of our shops, okay? Tell them you were questioning on the blend, okay? We'll check it out for free. We'll waive that checkout fee for you, okay? And let's see what it is, okay? And if it's one of the pieces that you can go without all-wheel drive, sure. And then again, it might only be a couple $100s to fix it, and you know what? Winters around here, all-wheel drive is awful nice, okay, and stuff,
So for Matt, get it into your shop, and you'll take a look at it.
We'll
awesome.
look at it, no charge.
cool.
I mean, hopefully it's something simple. Hopefully it's not the unit itself, but our shops will check it out.
good
They
to
look at those
know.
all the time.
Just
okay,
know
so-
exactly what you're dealing
Sure.
with here before you
Yep.
buy.
Yep.
Okay, this last question, this is from Dee. She says, my rear driver's side wheel squeals pretty loud in my 2009 GMC Yukon. I changed brakes and rotors all around, but I still have that squeal. What could the squeal be?
You know, usually it comes down to brakes. Of course, he said he's done brakes. Now, this day and age, again, brakes are a little more complicated than they used to be. If you turn the rotors and you don't wash and prepare the rotors properly, putting new rotors and putting new brakes on, they can still squeal. Now, I'm kind of assuming he's got a different squeal than that, because otherwise all the wheels would be squealing, okay, and stuff most likely. Because what happens is the new brake pads will pick up the metal off the rotors, and then when you step on the brake, they make a squeaking noise, okay, and stuff. This one, I suspect we got something probably going on with the emergency brake, okay? That something's not adjusted right, and it's touching one of the rotating parts, and that's what's causing the squeal, I suspect, okay? In the older cars, this would have disc brakes again on the back, not drum brakes. You had backing plates, and if that backing plate got bent, it could also be causing a squeal. If it isn't that, then you're down to a bearing in the axle, okay? And hopefully it isn't that, because that does cost quite a bit more money to fix. What I do is jack up to one side, okay? Have somebody drive it at about 5 miles an hour, see where the noise is coming from. If you can hear it, great. If you can't, pull the wheel off, see if it's there, and hopefully you can figure out where it is. All right. So.
Thank you, Peter.
Peter, thanks
All
a
right.
lot. Good
A
luck
lot of
finding that
info.
trailer.
I'm sorry?
Good luck finding that trailer.
Yeah, I don't really hold my breath. I mean, only because, you know what, police officers really don't look at trailers very much. I will say it was a unique one. It's a V-nose. It's white, okay, and it was one of the only brands, okay, or whatever.
Seriously,
Called an
like Mary said,
interstate
send us a
brand.
picture of it.
Not very popular
I'm
here
serious.
in Omaha, okay.
We'll put it online.
But I'll do that. That's a good idea. I didn't
Okay.
think of doing that. So
Get the
appreciate
word
it.
out.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
week,
Peter.
Peter.
Good to see
Yep.
you. Well, your question,